we look at an important consumer behavior model. This is called the Howard Sheth consumer behavior model. Howard is an American, Sheth is an Indian. Both of them came out with this wonderful model on consumer behavior back in the year 1969. So this is taken from their book on the theory of buyer behavior, which came out through John Wiley in the year 1969. So in this book you can find this model on page number 30 of this book. Now, a wonderful compartmentalization has been given by these two gentlemen on the type of inputs which go into play with respect to consumer behavior. They have put it under the heads stimulus, then symbolic, then social. So this is a type of inputs which have come into play. One with respect to stimulus display. This stimulus display can be significative, symbolic, or social. So these are the typical inputs. Insignificative, what are the factors that are going to affect the significative inputs? That is the quality of the product, the price of the product, the distinctiveness, service, and the availability. Then with respect to symbolic inputs, what are the type of factors that are going to come in? It is quality, price, distinctiveness, service, and availability. As you see, the significative inputs, the symbolic inputs are more or less the same. They contribute to stimulus display. Then with respect to the social inputs, who can influence the decision with respect to a product? The typical groups which can influence the decision with respect to a product could be family or could be reference groups. You may have certain reference groups with respect to a particular individual which will influence. Suppose he wants to buy a car and he is always in the company of people who are owners of a particular brand of car. They form the reference group for him. He may also like to have the same type of car, and this depends on the type of social class he's in. So these are the different social inputs which are likely to come into play, that is your family, your reference groups, and the social class. Now all this is going to give a few things with respect to the consumer. He enters the domain of what we call the perceptual constructs. So these inputs give him the domain. When he comes to the domain of perceptual constructs, he does what is called the overt search, that is open search. So which are the ones which are exhibiting the products which he is looking for, the companies. Then after that overt search, there may be a stimulus ambiguity which might step in. He may find many companies exhibiting the same type of products which he may be interested in. Okay, all these products may catch his attention, and towards a particular company's product he may develop more attention, or he may be biased towards that company. So that is the perceptual bias which steps in. The perceptual constructs lead to what is called the learning constructs. What is this learning construct? The customer develops confidence about his own decision making. And when he develops confidence about his own decision making, this is likely to result in a particular attitude being exhibited by him, depending upon the types of motives he may have. So the confidence, the motives giving rise to certain attitudes, then these motives also giving rise to certain choice criteria. He may decide on the choice criteria with respect to his product. So all this will lead to what we call the behavioral intentions which are exhibited by the consumer. So these perceptual constructs lead to what is called the learning constructs. These learning constructs towards the end exhibit the buyer's behavior intentions. The buyer's behavior intentions are also influenced by the types of brands which are competing to satisfy this particular product category. That is the brand comprehensions. Take a washing machine, for example. You have so many brands like the LG, the IFB, the Samsung, so many of them. So all these are catering to this particular market segment. So the brand comprehension is what comes in next with respect to the individual. And now he decides on a particular brand of the product. He takes that particular product brand, then when he makes that purchase, when he comes to this stage of brand comprehension, he would have almost come to the stage of making a purchase of the product. So this purchase of the product is coming into play through these blocks. One is the product catching his attention, the brand comprehension, his attitude, then intention resulting in purchase. Okay. This results in purchase of the product. Once he crosses this intention block, it is almost very sure or certain that he is going to make a buy of the product, because mental evaluation would have told him, yes, I can afford to have this particular product. When he purchases this product, the next thing which we are seeing as satisfaction typically means after the use of your product, how satisfied he is with respect to your product usage, and that determines whether he is going to have a better feedback on your product for the next prospective customers. So this word of mouth publicity is very important in marketing. All these are exhibited in this wonderful model of Howard Sheath. The first one is inputs, resulting into perceptual constructs, learning constructs, then coming out with outputs.